Hello everyone. Welcome again. We'll be starting our history chapter 2, that is nationalism in India. And in today's video, in this chapter, we will study topic about differing strands within the movements. Okay, so let's start this video with this topic. So the non-cooperation Khilafat movement began in January 1921. So the non-cooperation and Khilafat movement started in January 1921. Different social groups took participation in this movement, but each had his own aspiration. Though all of them responded to the call of Swaraj, but their outlook of Swaraj was different from each other. So, how it differed, we will see now. So, first, the movement in the towns. So, it started with middle class participation in cities. Students, teachers, lawyers gave up studies, jobs, legal practices, and joined, joined it movements. Council elections were boycotted. Foreign goods were boycotted. Liquor shops were picketed. So, in towns, the movement started with the middle class participation. A large number of students left government controlled schools and colleges. Teachers, headmasters resigned, and lawyers left their legal practices. Even the council elections were boycotted in most provinces except Madras. The Justice Party of Madras, which was a party of non-Brahmin who participated in council elections, as for them it was one way to gain some power which was generally vested only with Brahmins. Soon, the boycott of foreign goods was started. Liquor shops were picketed and foreign clothes was burned in the bonfires. This badly affected the British government economically. The import of foreign cloth halted between 1921 and 1922. The value of the businesses reduced to 57 crore rupees from 102 crore rupees. Not only this, the merchants and traders also refused to trade in foreign goods or finance foreign trade. With the spread of this movement, India's began using cloths uh, produced in India. This led to the increase in production of Indian textile mills and handlooms. But this movement could not sustain for a long period due to various reasons, such as first, khadi was an expensive cloth which was not affordable for most of the households. Second, students who boycotted British institutes could not find a suitable substitutes, hence rejoined them. Third, similarly, teachers and lawyers went back to their work. So, such was the non-cooperation movement in the cities. But what happened in the villages or the countryside? Let's check this. First, movement in the countryside. Peasants and tribals took over the struggle which turned violent gradually. The non-cooperation movement spread in villages too. The struggle was joined by the peasants and tribals also. Peasants movement in Awadh. The peasants were led by Baba Ramchandra in Awadh against landlords and talukdars. In 1920, the Awadh Kisan Sabha was set up, headed by Jawaharlal Nehru, Baba Ramchandra, and a few others. One such struggle was the peasant struggle of Awadh, led by Baba Ramchandra, a sannyasi. Baba Ramchandra used to be an indent, in, indentured means bonded labor in Fiji. He started a movement against the talukdars and landlords who demanded high rents and various forms of census from the peasants. Peasants had to work at landlords' farms without any wages, now as begar. The peasants had no right over the listed leased leased land. They were regularly evicted, therefore they had no security of tenure. The peasant movement initiated by Ramchandra demanded for lowering down of revenue and abolition of begar. At same place, Nai Dhobi Bans were organized by the panchayats. It was a kind of strike by the barbers and the washermen in order to deprive of landlords from the basic service. In 1920, Jawaharlal Nehru went to the different villages of Awadh and tried to understand the problems being faced by the peasants. In October 1920, he formed Awadh Kisan Sabha. The Awadh Kisan Sabha was headed by Jawaharlal Nehru. Baba Ramchandra and a few others. Uh, the Awadh Kisan Sabha was headed by Jawaharlal Nehru, Baba Ramchandra, and a few others. Soon, 300 branches were set up in the village around the region. When Congress started the non-cooperation movement in 1921, it also integrated the peasants' struggle into the wider struggle. However, this movement later on turned into a different direction which was not acceptable to the Congresses. As the movement spread, the peasants attacked the houses of talukdars and merchants. They looted the bazaars and took away the grains. Soon it was found that at many places local leaders had told peasants that it was instructed by Gandhiji that no taxes will be paid and land will be redistributed among the poor. The name of Gandhi was misused in this case. Next, movement of tribals in Andhra Pradesh. So, Alluri Sitaram Raju led the guerrilla warfare in the Godem Hills of Andhra Pradesh. The rebels attacked police stations. Raju was captured and executed in 1924. So, next movement of tribals in Andhra Pradesh, another such case where the message of Mahatma Gandhi and the idea of Swaraj was municipality was Gadam Hills of Andhra Pradesh. Here, a militant guerrilla movement spread in the early 1920s, which again was not a form of struggle accepted by the Congress. The reason behind this struggle was the prevention law made by the colonial government that barred, barred the tribals from entering into the villages for collection of few wood, fruits, or to graze their cattle. Not only this, the government forced them to work as beggars of building a road. The leaders of this tribal movement was Alori Sitaram Raju, who declared himself as a man with superpowers who could sustain even the bullet shots. The tribals, who were impressed by him and proclaimed him to be an incarnation of God. Raju was greatly inspired by Mahatma Gandhi. Therefore, he preceded by therefore he preceded the tribals to wear khadi and give up drinking. But on the other hand, he did not believe in the philosophy of peaceful demonstrations. He believed that Indian could be liberated with the use of force and not the non-violence. The Gooden rebels under him attacked police stations, attempted to kill the Britishers, and used guerrilla warfare techniques to uh, achieve Swaraj. Later on, Raju was arrested and a death sentence was given to him in 1924. He was still considered as a folk hero. As we have read that everyone had his own way of interpreting Swaraj. So was the case of the Assam plantation workers who had their own idea of Swaraj and non-cooperation. So what was that? Let's see. Swaraj in the plantations. For the plantation workers, Swaraj means moving freely, that protested against the Inland Emigration Act 1859, which prevented them from leaving the plantation without permission. Each group interpreted the term Swaraj in their own ways. The workers of the tea plantation had their own understanding of Swaraj. For them, freedom meant the right to move freely in and out of their enclosed places. These workers were not allowed to move freely out of the tea gardens without permission. This was due to the Inland Emigration Act of 1859, which bound them to follow this rule of confinement. They thought that not cooperation movement was a sign of the Gandhi Raj, which would enable them to get free and on land in their own villages. Therefore, they left the tea garden and went back to their homes. However, they were not able to do so as there was a railway and steamer strikes. At last, they were cast and beaten up by the police. The movements carried by these groups were not included in the Congress program. They made up their own interpretation and imagined it to be a time when all their hardships and troubles would end. Still, when tribals ra- raised the slogan of Swatantra Bharat and chanted Gandhiji's name one could see the unified agitation of Indians in them. When they related themselves with the movement of Congress, which was initiated by Gandhi, they were actually identifying with the movement which was far beyond their local areas. Now that we know about the non cooperation movement and the way it was perceived by various groups, in my next video, we discuss about civil disobedience movement and how it started. So, in today's video, all concept I hope you have understood very well. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.